Japan is an enigma. It's the perfect juxtaposition of century-old traditions overlapped with lightning-speed, cutting-edge technology. Many first-time visitors to Japan are often surprised to learn that, as one of the world's most advanced, industrialized nations, this relatively small Asian country also boasts a rich and fascinating history that dates back thousands of years. Indeed, long before many of Europe's most spectacular cathedrals were built, Japan's Shinto and Buddhist temples were already well established in drawing pilgrims and patrons to their elaborate designs and decor. At the same time, the country was already perfecting the skills and trades that would set it on the path to riches, from fine porcelains and ceramics to textiles such as silk. Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we'll tell you about the best places to visit in Japan. But first, make sure to subscribe to the channel for more similar content. Let's dive in. 1. Mount Fuji. Without a doubt, Japan's most recognizable landmark, majestic Mount Fuji, Fuji-san, is also the country's highest mountain peak, towering 3,776 meters over an otherwise largely flat landscape to the south and east. This majestic and fabled mountain is tall enough to be seen from Tokyo, more than 100 kilometers away. Mount Fuji has for centuries been celebrated in art and literature and is now considered so important an icon that UNESCO recognized its world cultural significance in 2013. Part of the Fuji-Hakone-Izu National Park, Mount Fuji is climbed by more than 1 million people each summer as an act of pilgrimage, which culminates in watching the sunrise from its summit. Of course, for many, simply viewing the mountain from that distance or from the comfort of a speeding train is enough to say, been there, done that. 2. Imperial Tokyo. Tokyo's most famous landmark, the Imperial Palace with its beautiful 17th century parks surrounded by walls and moats, is a must-see when visiting the nation's capital, that is. Don't be put off by the fact that the majority of the palace is closed to the public. It's still in use by the imperial family, as there is still enough to see simply by strolling the grounds. In addition to the many fine views of the palace from numerous points in the surrounding parkland, visitors are permitted into the East Higashigon Garden and other areas that are open to the public as part of the organized tour. One of the most romantic views is the famous Nijubashi Bridge, or Double Bridge, so named for its watery reflection. 3. Hiroshima Peace Memorial Park. While little needs to be said here of the horrors of the atomic bombing of Hiroshima in August 1945, much can be said of the incredible efforts this vibrant city has made to commemorate the many victims of the world's first nuclear attack. Perhaps even more importantly, Hiroshima has become a symbol of lasting peace. Visited by more than 1 million people each year, many from overseas, Hiroshima Peace Memorial Park, Hiroshima Heiwa Kinnan-koen, lies at the epicenter of the atomic blast in what was once a bustling part of the city. Here you'll find a number of important monuments, memorials, and museums relating to the events of that fateful day. 4. Historic Kyoto. One of Japan's most visited cities, lovely Kyoto, one of the few cities in the country to be spared the devastation of World War II, attracts more than 10 million visitors annually. Most of them are here to explore Kyoto's fine old streets and architecture, much of it unchanged since the imperial family took up residence here more than 1,000 years ago. Even then, the city was Japan's most important cultural center. This legacy, in fact, continues to this day with its many museums and art galleries, each bursting with important sculptures, paintings, and other forms of art. Finally, no visit to Kyoto is complete without spending time exploring the Arashiyama Bamboo Grove. This beautiful area of tall bamboo is just a few minutes' walk from the town center. The island shrine of Itsukushima Miyajima. Just a short ferry ride from mainland Hiroshima is the island of Miyajima, famous the world over as Japan's Shrine Island. Covering an area of 30 square kilometers in Hiroshima Bay, Miyajima is best known as the home of the Itsukushima Shrine, a Shinto temple dedicated to the princess daughters of the wind god Susanoo. Dating from the 8th century, the majority of the shrine's buildings rise out of the waters of a small bay supported only by piles. The effect at high tide is simply stunning, making these structures, including the famous Great Floating Gate, Otori, appear as if they're floating on water. Another notable feature is the shrine stage, where visitors are entertained with traditional dances and musical performances. Also worth noting are the island's exquisite grounds and gardens, home to wild deer and numerous bird colonies. 6. Temple City, Historic Nara. For centuries, the hub of Japanese culture, the lovely, unspoiled city of Nara is home to a large number of historic buildings, along with important national treasures and works of art. In addition to its many historic streets, the city boasts numerous important old temples. These include the magnificent 7th city Kofuku-ji Temple, perhaps the best known of the 7 great temples of Nara, and the splendid 8th century Todai-ji Great East Temple, famous for its huge bronze statue of the Great Buddha, Daibutsu, cast here in AD of 749. 7. Osaka Castle. Built in 1586 by famous Japanese warrior and politician Toyotomi Hideyoshi, Osaka Castle was at the time the largest and most important fortress in the country. Although destroyed and rebuilt a number of times since, the present structure, built in 1931, remains true to the original. Highlights of a visit include the huge 5-story, 42-meter-tall main tower, built on an imposing 14-meter-tall stone base. The tower is home to a number of displays detailing the history of the castle and the city. Be sure to visit the top floor for its superb views over Osaka, an especially attractive sight as the sun sets. 8. Chubu Sangaku National Park and the Japanese Alps. Japan boasts a number of outstanding areas of natural beauty, many of them designated as national parks or, in some cases, UNESCO World Heritage Sites. One of the country's most spectacular of these is Chubu Sangaku National Park in the center of Honshu. Located in the park's northern and central regions is the group of mountains collectively referred to as the Hida Mountains, or Japanese Alps. Of particular interest is the park's abundance of flora and fauna, including the rare ptarmigan and mountain antelopes found at higher altitudes. The park's many hot springs also draw visitors and led to the development of various spas and holiday resorts. 9. The Atsuta Shrine, Nagoya. In the heart of the city of Nagoya is the most important Shinto shrine in Japan and attracts more than 5 million visitors each year. Established in the 1st century, this religious site is famous for its preserved imperial insignia, the grass-mowing sword, Kusanagi no Tsurugi, one of only 3 in the country. 10. Fukuoka Castle ruins and the city's ancient festivals. The ruins of the once great Fukuoka Castle, built in the early 1600s, punctuate the middle of Maizuru Park. The castle was once a fine example of the prolific and majestic hilltop homes preferred by shoguns and city rulers. But it was destroyed after the Meiji Restoration as a backlash against the feudal system. Today, only the ruins of the castle remains, including the main gate and one of the turrets. Visitors mainly come here for the leafy walking trails and scenic lookouts with beautiful views over the Naka River. If you climb to the top of the ruins, you can see views of the city beyond. The park is especially lovely in spring when the cherry blossoms are in full bloom. That was all from us today, folks. For more similar content like this, make sure to subscribe to the channel and click on the notification icon so you'll get notified when we upload the next video. Speaking of which, I'll see you in the next video.